So we're just kind of going to check on her now before we get too many other investigations going or any new cases, just to kind of see how she's handling it now that she's had time to process and think about it and
make sure she's emotionally and spiritually okay.
Right. And because she's always been a little bit vulnerable on the spiritual side. Our paranormal endeavors started in March of 2010. The concept was pretty minuscule compared to what it is now. I started out with Alex. He was back at chapter 1. He started it out. And my mentor, Jackie Carpenter, had started it with me and kind of encouraged me, helped me launch it. Then I was on my own after that. And who knew, that we'd be 7 years strong and still doing our series as well to help show you, the viewer, on what we encounter on a case-by-case basis.
I am super excited for season 6, and the fact that here the 20th is going to be marking year 7 of our team. I'm so excited. Having joined back in 2010, it was just like, it's crazy.
Chapter 5 really had some growth and some challenges for us, and the ending of it especially was very intense at times. Check us tonight, help send us prayer, protection as needed. Jackie and I are going to visit her and just kind of see how she's doing after she's had time to reflect and just see what her thoughts are now of the field.
The severity of that case, were you guys contemplating calling it quits and getting assistance from somebody else to help with that, or was it, because I know from what you guys have told me and from what I understand, a lot of people were affected that night.
Yeah, it definitely would have been a good one. I wish you were there. It would be good for your growth too, but I'm kind of curious to see how you would have handled it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, something like this, something that could be seen as this traumatic in the spiritual side, could change viewpoints, even to the point of where I've had some colleagues leave the field because they've had moments similar to this happen to them, and either they just weren't ready for it or they just say, never again, it's my time, I'm going to walk away. It was close. I didn't feel like it was to that point where we had to abort the mission, so to speak, and regroup and come back in later with different expertise. But it came close, probably one of the closest ones since chapter 1. I mean, that tells you how much it was.
A decent amount to go in order to fully feel confident in their skills. So I'm hoping I can help them with that. I'm hoping Eric can help them with that, and everybody else on the team can kind of work together and make those goals and dreams happen.
And I think that's definitely one of the scary things about what we do.
Right.
Is it can get excelled in certain situations pretty quickly, and if you're not ready for it, then I mean, there have been times in different situations that I've had to almost step out before.
Yep.
And I've been doing this since like 2010.
Yep.
So
people look up to me as being that role model, and it's like I still worry about certain, not let it consume me, but worry about, it's like when I meet my match, so to speak, and it's like, ooh,
when you become arrogant, where I have to step out, basically, that kind of thing. And like I believe wholeheartedly, when you become arrogant, you drop your sense of fear.
Right, and there's mistakes made. I think just like all the positive energies and the angelic ones we come across, I think it's important to also respect the negative side, not underestimate what could potentially affect you, because you don't know. You could, that's why these teams that go in provoking and taunting, and it's like,
you're going to provoke the wrong thing at some point.
Just to keep growing spiritually and keep growing as a team and a family. That's what we are. Essentially, is we're just a big family.
Hello.
how are you?
I'm doing fine. How are you doing?
Hanging in there, doing good.
That's good.
Just wanted to kind of check on you and see how you were since that last residential case that we did.
Yep.
Step away from Mary.
Stop it!
From Mary.
Stop it!
Step away. Step away.
Stop! Stop it! Stop it now!
Well, I haven't really, every once in a while I really think about it, but it's, every move I make anymore, though, I wonder, what feelings I have. I'm just wondering, am I feeling it because, do I still have part of the so-called demon in me, or am I just feeling myself?
Well, I know you've always had doubts. I mean, it's always been a normal thing. We were discussing on the way here that we think that, it's moments like that because everyone else that was there that night had experienced some degree of nastiness like that. That was kind of your moment where the cherry popped, so to speak.
And that was a big moment.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm not a virgin anymore.
Once you go through things like that, being through some things before, it helps you grow because then you identify it. So then you can realize maybe for the next time things are happening, you start to realize and you become smarter than it.
Yeah, I went through so many emotions that night. I mean, after it happened, after I got out of there, it's like, I think on the way home I was going, okay, I don't ever want to, do this again, or, I was like, no, I'm not going to go out anymore, I'm not going to do anything. And then after a while, it turned to, I want to go find that bitch. I want to go, I want to go kick her. I mean, I stopped her. I want to go kick her ass some more. Is how I felt after,
Have a checkpoint, if you will, a spiritual checkpoint, as we call it. See how you're doing. Start of a new chapter.
Yeah.
Perfect time to check on, see how you are before we take on new cases.
Well, I'm just glad we could come here to my ancestral cemetery, I guess, and do it here. It just feels really comfortable doing it.
Well, you ready for new cases then, and ready to case management?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. They need to start flooding in.
Because Carrie had stepped down. She stepped up for interim case manager assistant there for a little bit, and then had to step down. But we do have a candidate in the works right now. Her name's Amaya. Younger case manager. She's I think around like Jackie's or in our generation.
I just hope I don't scare her off.
Yeah, well, I don't think so. It's not you. There's a lot of things in the world that are scarier than you. Like the last case that you're in.
Oh, yes.
But I think that it'll be good because having two case managers really helps. So then when somebody can't do it, then somebody else can do it. And, all right, group hug real quick. Let's have to see how this next chapter goes. Nice to meet you.
Nice to
Thanks for
meet
coming
you.
out.
Hi.
So, as you met, that's India. She was new last year. We wanted to interview you for our case manager role with us because poor Mary's done a lot over the last year, and with her poor health, every once in a while, just take some of that weight load off. With somebody who's willing, get in there and do the research and contact clients and get the cases set up for us, because you really are the front of the lines. I mean, you're like a face of paranormal endeavors in a way, So I want to represent good. So this is just our initial meeting of you, and we kind of started going over, talking about ourselves and some of the training material and stuff.
So I just met Amaya and had the official interview with her, and so far I really like her. She looks like she's going to fit in. Good vibes off of her, and she has some gifts that actually fit into what I was dealing with when I first started with the team.
Well, I guess, the show, I love the show, and I love how it's different than a lot of the other paranormal shows that are out there, and I love how Eric is actually, what's the right word, passionate, and you can tell he's a kind person, so you can tell that he's not going to get into nature either, which is actually something I was really concerned about when coming over here and talking to you guys, because I didn't want him to be like one of those gun-ho people that are crazy and want to do something bad or something, you know what I mean? Bring that bad energy.
He's the exact opposite.
Yeah, exactly. He's and I don't know, I've met you so far, and you seem like a really good person, and I do want to, I guess you could say I would use this more for education for myself.
Another chapter, we really have been needing case manager assistance for, about a year now. Mary's been kind of the standalone. Kim was doing it, and then Kim had stepped down, and then Carrie had stepped in as interim case manager to help out Mary, and then a few cases later she had to step down, and she's out of endeavors right now. So we opened up to recruiting, and case manager is an important role. It's one of our administrative roles, usually on the front lines. Many cases they're the first face.
To really build a future off of this as well, too. Does that make sense?
Also, maybe validate yourself more and grasp more ideas of what could possibly be going on.
I'm not exactly sure what I'm doing, when I'm doing. Does that make sense? Like with my own energy, and just to be around other people that have a hold of themselves.
I was like that too. When I first started, I was everywhere. And I think that her being with us is going to help her out a lot, not just validate herself, but help her out with her sanity level, because right now she thinks she might be borderline crazy, which she's definitely not. Especially Eric and Jarrett, which you'll meet, and he's another good one. They're both, good peers to look up to, and that'll help you ground yourself more and help you, learn how to turn on and off that switch. When I don't have my serious face on because Eric makes me, I'm actually I'm pretty comical sometimes.
Yeah.
And I can also be naughty, and I can also be just.
Yeah. Well, there's a few people on our team. You get them
These are
together.
pretty
I've had to
horrible
separate
things.
some before. Okay, we're driving to a case. Get it out of your system now. Come on. They set up the cases. They help keep this giant machine moving smoothly, preferably. They get the information and the intel in many cases, before I even know too much about it. So it's important, and it's nice to have two case managers share that workload and responsibility.
We had took some of our instruments upstairs, and was talking to the lady upstairs and stuff.
Might be different now. I don't know. We'll see. She was out and about.
Oh yeah, but now that
elsewhere, and maybe she will with you. But she does. Other than me, she kind of has a less tolerance for men in general. In part because of the era she grew up in and everything. And then she had a moment also where it's known that my house is what we call the lady of the house. She came with the house. She's a caretaker back in the day. Let me show her the uncanny photo that I got that I seen. I'm like, that's her. I mean, it looks like her, but it belongs here.
So Amaya had a very interesting moment with the bathroom here at Eric's house. She went to use the restroom and ended up seeing a lady in the mirror behind her, and she brought it up to us, and Eric happened to have a photo of the lady of the house, which he didn't show her at first. She described to us and then decided that she wanted to see the photo.
When I was in the bathroom, I saw this girl behind me, and she had dark hair, and it was kind of like in a messier bun, and I would say more like, she kind of like had a high collar, I'm not sure, but she had darker hair and she's Caucasian, I don't know.
She's explaining. Yes. Did you want to see it now?
I guess, yeah.
That you kind of let it out.
Yeah, because I just wanted to make sure I was seeing something that was real.
This is what you're
Self-doubt. I had a lot of that too.
You're okay. You're safe here.
Yeah.
We know. It's okay.
Yeah.
Let me.
I'm nervous to see it. Oh my god. Are you serious? Oh my gosh. Yeah, this is definitely the lady that I saw in the mirror.
She's about to start crying. I'm about to start crying. I can feel the white words coming.
I thought I was just
And we had a moment, because I think we both almost started crying. We definitely teared up. And she thought she was crazy because she thought she had seen something, but then she was completely validated when Eric showed her the picture of the lady.
This is insane. Oh my gosh, I can't believe this. This is crazy. Okay, I feel a little bit more accepted. Not really.
You're not crazy. We've all had our moments where we think that we're crazy, but then we just, like I said, look to each other. Validation.
Oh, my heart is racing. Oh my god, I'm sorry. I need to like calm down.
Well, it's the same woman that I've encountered and I've seen. Amaya went to use the restroom and indicated that the woman made her appearance to her.
I can't believe that. Okay, maybe there is some truth behind what I see in here. That's crazy.
And it's nice to have other people around you also, though. That,
Validation.
The support.
Yeah,
a lot of
learning
support.
to love yourself and to realize that you're
affected by it, then I would ask for like any kind of trigger things, right?
Right.
Okay.
Like, is there a common time of day that this happens? Is it centered around one particular person?
For your shadow case. It's not a residential, so it's a little different. It's a preschool, I think, right? A daycare?
I think it's a preschool.
Preschool. Of course, like I say to any new recruit, we want to make sure that they don't piddle themselves, tinkle like a little dog or run away with feces in their pants, things like that. So we want to make sure we kind of run that home and rub that in and let it sink in.
Thank you for the opportunity and for seeing me. I'm pretty excited about this. Especially now that I know that I'm not crazy.
I said I can't wait for it, Jack.
Yeah. Welcome her potentially aboard. Thanks for coming by.
Thank you.
Good luck on your
having
endeavor.
me.
Yeah. And we'll see you again, shadow case, how you feel. You get to see us then more in action. You get more hands-on experience with the equipment and stuff. Alright, so this case will be the first one, Chapter 6. It's just amazing that we're already to that point. And it sounds like it'll be a fascinating one. A daycare, I believe. Mary set this up because it's kind of a personal connection to her. She's our case manager as well, and she'll be receiving assistance finally after a few cases. We have a Maya, and this will be her shadow case, and she'll be joining on the case manager duties eventually here if she passes the shadow case.
Well, I guess I'm really nervous. I guess would be the good right word for it. I'm excited and nervous. It's gonna be different. I can't wait to learn more about how everything works in the group, and I can't wait to learn more about my role with this group, and I guess I'm just overall excited.
And it's also a Maya shadow case, her very first case, and I'm pretty excited to get to go on her first shadow case with her. She's a very, very talented young lady, and I can't express it enough. I can't wait to see her in action.
I've seen video, that surveillance video of like, it looks like someone walking. The police have come a couple times because the alarm went off and there's no one in there.
So this daycare provided us with some very intriguing footage. It's their own security footage. It's not our DVR system at all. And what it shows is that for some reason something had drawn the attention of local law enforcement. And the footage clearly shows them doing a sweep, but not finding anything or anyone of the living sort. No intruders of that nature. So that's fascinating, because you always hear about these little phantom phenomenons that occur that affect the technology or security systems or phone lines. There's cases out there where phantom 911 calls have actually made it through the 911 system, but the phones don't even work, or they're not even there anymore. Things like that. Basically, when police or law enforcement authorities get involved, it's a whole nother level.
One time a child in the boys' bathroom was screaming and went in there, and he was like petrified and telling some unknown entity to get away from him, and just kind of wondering what's there. It used to be Lutherans for Life church.
So yeah, I'm going into this just as a basic investigation where I have no preconceived notions, no premonitions or anything like that, so we'll see what we find.
So it sounds like really just kind of validate what is there and to make sure the threat level is non-existent, if you know that there's not any
because
threat.
there is children
Right.
like are there all the time.
Mm-hmm. That's why, even though it's a place of business, that's why I was saying in my interview I did earlier that we're still kind of treating this more like a priority case level, just due to the content of the business.
Yeah.
So, just so you know, this is Amaya. Finally get to meet.
Hi.
She's going to be assisting case manager duties. This is her shadow case. So we'll see how she does. Make sure she doesn't run off, fecal in her pants, different things like that. You know, the usual I've said to everyone.
Well, you wore a dark.
Dusty and I almost pissed our pants over here.
You wore a dark color, so that's good. Yeah, I always recommend brown pants for the first one.
You'll be fine. This is like your hazing.
Well, her coat's long enough; it might cover it.
Yeah.
Okay, so
So.
is
All right. I think we are ready to go. I'm gonna stay back and wait for Jeff because I have to do this before he's allowed back in the
Oh,
field.
yeah, that's right. Okay.
And I want to send a camera person with you. If you want to go meet up with her
Yes,
now, and whoever
I
wants
do.
to go with, because he hasn't been back since April of last year when he broke some rules, and so it'll be kind of fascinating on that avenue too to see how he functions if we truly have Jeff back.
David, you've gone after her. Do you have a problem with people that are weaker than you? I'm just asking a legitimate question.
I understand that.
If I have to, I will pack up my stuff and I will leave.
What? Why? What's going on? Jeff, step outside.
I wasn't in here, but you did a good job, okay?
Go. Yeah, outside. So, a few things I wanted to follow up on first. That item that you got at the Metaphysical Fair, have you even used that yet?
No, I haven't. I know where it's at, though.
Okay. Because that's one thing, because I thought that would be helpful to try to do it instead of just bring it in and not do anything with it. On the situation, on grounding yourself a little bit, getting the energies that are uncontrolled, just focused on those to where you're in control, and you don't have an episode like we had in Oskaloosa or in Ottumwa. So on this one, Jeff is coming back. It's his first one since the suspension had kicked in. What changes or what avenues have you pursued in the last about 7 months or so since you've been on your suspension? Have you worked on things to better yourself with those type of actions so we won't see them again?
Even if when I get stressed out here, it's like I always just try to find something to occupy my mind, clean, go work outside on something, project or something like that.
Yeah.
Distract myself from what's making me upset.
Because there's different things that I know probably be worked on, and I know since you have resources in the team and then through networking outside of the team too, but I think a part of this is getting a way to figure out, and you haven't figured it out maybe just yet, maybe you're working on it, but ways to get rid of that anger and that negativity. Because we're watching the footage, you can see it progress at that last investigation.
Been gone a while, been on suspension. Had to go over some rules and stuff tonight. As I told Eric as we were walking in, glad to be back and hope to be here for the long haul. I'm starting to learn my off switch. And basically, if I start feeling something, it's just like, if I see it, or they start saying something to me, it's like, not the place, not the time. Interested to see what's going to happen here tonight, and glad to be back with everybody. So, be interesting to see.
Probation period where all rules must be obeyed or removal from team will take place. Administrators of Paranormal Endeavors will be monitoring behavior and checking ethics of the field. Policy enforcement of Code of Conduct, I acknowledge and certify that a reminder briefing of the Code of Conduct was supplied to me at the start of this probation period. I understand that in order to return to good standing with Paranormal Endeavors after a suspension period, if applicable as well, it will not break policy. And the administrators will sign my name here. I've reviewed this notice on me, and you put date down there. Does that sound fair enough?
Yep,
at least to let you back in, to give you a
sounds fair
chance?
enough.
Okay.
That's why I kind of sat out the last couple cases anyway, because I was still trying to. Because Jarrett and I have had our conversations on Facebook. We've talked to each other on the phone.
And I'm glad you're
And
using that resource.
And he's been helping me through stuff, and it's just like having that person to talk to makes a difference.
Took some time, personal reflect on himself and different things, try to better himself, get better grounded and all that. And he's back today, so this will be extra test here for him to make sure he's really back, how he's handling things.
Hi, Amy.
Yes. We see a lot of strange things that go on. Lights on, lights off. People feel like they've been touched. The staff that works here. So.
Well, we're here at the Little Cups Preschool. I have a vested stake in this one. Well, I set it up for one thing, and my grandchildren go here. My daughter works here.
So this used to be the old sanctuary because this was a church before we turned it into a daycare center. So there used to be two big doors right here that you open up.
And then we turned them into 2 classrooms. So anyway, this was the sanctuary. And there where the bathrooms are, that was the altar. And so we took the altar out, we took all that out. And put the big wall in. And so this is where we see the little girl a lot. It's over here on this side of the building, mostly in this room. So this is the room that the little boy saw the ghost in from the video camera. And it was kind of over in, let me see where the camera's at. It would have been over in this area where he pointed on the screen. It would have been here. And then over in this area is where she gets poked in the butt. And if she goes into this room, she gets poked.
Okay,
and this is just a furnace room.
Okay,
So
there's nothing
there's nothing in there.
stored in there or anything. Just,
No, it's just empty. I mean, I think there's a couple strollers, but there's nothing in there.
This way I know that they're safe. I mean, I feel pretty good in here right now, and I'm just really excited to start investigating and see what's here.
That's really it.
All right. Okay. It gives us somewhere to put our cameras and
Okay, sounds good.
and all that. And so, well, thank you. And
You're welcome.
hopefully Eric will be here soon and you can meet him.
All right.
And one of the places where we want to start probably is over here. This whole area here used to be the sanctuary.
So what she's explaining is this where a kid was freaking out back here.
That's where a kid was freaking out. So that's what's mainly in this room.
Well, I don't know nothing about this place. I don't know nothing about the case, actually. I'm really excited. I'm going on vacation to Puerto Rico on Tuesday, and this is going to be my last case until I came back.
This would be a nice idea. It's out, kind of out of the main activity
4
areas.
plugins back there, plugins there. This would work.
Yeah. All right, settled. Let's make this one work.
7:37.
So it's kind of in 24-hour time. So
DVR or Pod 2
pod 1.
or Pod 1. I'm so sorry. It's Pod 1.
Well, we're at Little Cud's preschool. We did a little mini walkthrough with Mary.
It'll be our first daycare, solely daycare business that we've investigated with Endeavors. So setup went miraculously well. We were set up in like 50 minutes of arrival, which is always good. And we're going to start with our first session here in a little bit.
What I have learned in this, that nothing you see and nothing you feel is ridiculous, because it has a totally legit meaning, trust me. It might not make sense right away, but it will. Okay. So don't feel bad or don't feel weird or don't feel stupid or anything by any means.
Whenever you get something come into your mind, especially when we're in the spiritual side of things, something comes to your mind, speak it. It may not make sense. I've had people that I've given readings on.
That actually used to be where the altar and stuff was. So that would make sense.
Okay.
Church choir and organs. And
So we want to thank Mary for setting this up. She has a personal connection here, and her daughter works here, right?
Right.
Yeah. So it's been a place that's kind of been on the radar for a little while now, because originally when we were going to investigate this, it was brought to my attention like 2 cases ago.
It was before school started,
Yeah.
actually.
And then it just kind of it didn't work out.
Yeah, because of school start and everything. And
Yeah.
she kind of put on the back burner, and it just kind of all went on the back burner for a while, and then something happened, and so that's when, come in here, get in here.
Yeah. 2 teams, mobile DVRs I think will be good with both. We have the pods set up, one in there, and they're on the camera, and then we have their audios on each of the pods. And then these I think will be good coverage for when we're roaming on our team aspect.
Kind of indifferent about it. I feel like there's something here. I feel like there's not something here. I don't know. Have to wait and see what we collect on the evidence.
Well, I made it into chapter 6.
Starting chapter 6 with the group. I came in on chapter 5, so it's exciting.
I came in almost in the middle of last year. Came in kind of early, but they had a few cases already under their belt.
This is the first episode, chapter 6, and it's really cool. Been here for 3 chapters already.
The team is growing.
Working on, I hope I continue in the group. Hope the group keep getting bigger and more people know about us, and that's what I hope for my team, and I'm enjoying what I'm doing right now. So
I mean, we have fun, but then we get down to the serious part too.
So it's the beginning of chapter 6, which is crazy for me because I joined at the beginning of chapter 5, and I can't believe I've already been here for an entire year.
Want to do more with the group.
This year, I'm really hoping to maybe come across more evidence and just witness more things happening.
That I may venture into. I've started doing tarot readings, things like that for people. Things that I was always afraid to do before, but I've got the confidence to do now.
Kind of just hoping that, I expand my gifts more and learn how to understand them more. And with the guidance of the people that I have right now, Eric and Jarrett, I think there's a great possibility of it.
so far, we're getting stronger. We're getting more cases. People is knowing more about us.
I'm hoping for a really good year, really good chapter.
When we come to the center, nothing. And then we come back into here, and it's just high EMF through this whole area.
Program.
Well, we're here to figure you out.
Indian.
Yeah.
Now.
K2, not reliable here. There's some massive electrical issues in this place. It was not insulated right. The entire walls where the cribs are lined is just massive EMF spikes into the yellows and oranges. We've got a couple of devices here. One in my hand probably won't work so well. One India has over here will. It's an obelisk. This will transmit any energies that you may have into a verbal word, and you can manipulate that.
So first we were in the baby room, and we got a couple K2 hits, but there was a lot of EMF in general, so we didn't really go off of that very well.
See that? So we're talking about high EMFs. These are orange, almost red, coming out of all these electrical wires that go up here, and they're running along all the walls. And this is what's called a fear cage. And with the cribs being right on it, this is a major problem.
In the bathroom, I'm not going in the bathroom.
Why not?
Because I don't want the people looking at me.
Oh, please. You got people looking at you in every bathroom you go to your entire life, David.
Even your own bathroom at home.
Yes. They're always around you. Once you become aware of the dead, you realize you have no privacy in life, man. And you just kind of do what you have to.
Are you in this back room?
Wow. That was a definite yes.
Yeah.
Well, for the first part of the investigation, we were in the 2 rooms that would have been where the chapel was.
Alright, we're over here. This device was telling us to come over here. Are you over here with us?
If you're over here with us, can you tell us your name?
We were getting kind of like a childlike vibe and kind of going around and getting a few hits off the K2.
Can you answer that again for me? Were you baptized here?
No, that was clear. Thank you.
Were you a member of this church? Please say loud and clear. No.
Yeah, the first session's been pretty good. Heard a few things. Kind of curious to see what the audio is going to bring up, and
Peachy.
Before it sounded like nose, but we'll have to listen to that later. This was going off here. Was this you over here? Did you catch it going off briefly? Are you over here?
Are you hiding under one of the tables?
Did something scare you?
So this is my first investigation. First, I don't know what you call it, like setting. It's pretty cool. It's pretty eventful. I do this thing where I can see beings and mirrors, and I had a little pocket mirror. And when I was in there, I saw some beings. I guess that's the best way of putting it.
Maya uses a mirror because she can kind of see things through it and stuff like that. It's a known way of communication that some sensitives can use. New for endeavors, haven't had any investigators do it that way before, but we're open to that. We're going to see more and kind of probe more into that for the spiritual side as well. So it's kind of more of a spiritual tool at this point.
Hi, my name is Amaya. I have a son. I think you were trying to play hide and seek with us. Were you trying to play hide and seek with us? Can't crawl around.
Can crawl around. Sometimes you get in a kid's mind, you have to become one. You want us to play around with you? Are you under here?
Were you the one I was talking
You under
to
here?
earlier?
You under here? That was nice.
I heard it. Were you the one I was talking
You under
to
here?
earlier?
You under here? That was nice.
I heard it. Did you like it?
Let's keep doing this. It's working. Are you under here?
Where are you?
Under here?
We were playing like hide and go seek with being, I don't know what to call it.
So that first session went really well, I think. I had the newbie, Amaya, with us, and I wanted Mary with us as well on the same team so they could kind of help each other as trying out for a case manager. She's going to try to help Mary, and they're going to be working quite a bit together in the future. Under here.
There's such a child coming through that.
Yeah. If you're on the radio, want to see if they're good for that, for even the first session. No,
That's a loud.
Look at that.
No, framing the first session.
That was loud.
We did some questions that we normally do. EMF meter going off on my right side, by the way. You hear that? Pod EMF going off?
Right on.
Anyway.
Yes, it is.
Uh-oh.
Why is that going off?
Can I ask a question? It's bothering me. Both of you guys. Do you guys think there's a kid here? Blonde?
Blonde girl, curly hair.
Okay, I don't feel that bad anymore.
Amaya told me that earlier.
Fucking kid. First part of the investigation, I've been watching the monitors all night. Well, the first session. No kidding. Well, I just saw this part here. Blonde, curly, walk towards that room. I think I saw like a little hair on the top of the head of a kid, blonde.
Yeah, I would say
That's
she's
all I
probably
saw.
like 5. She's the same age as my oldest girl.
That's the only thing I saw. Like I was looking to the camera and with the thing on my eye, I saw that little blonde hair just walking towards. I told Eric a while ago. I told like, do you think there's a kid here? Watching through the monitors, I keep looking through. Right when you go inside the building, there's like kind of a closet or a classroom. I don't know. And I think I saw in the door, standing in a shadow, dark inside the room, peeking out and looking in, and then came back in.
Eric, look who I drug in.
Aww. I thought you got lost or you decided not to come.
No, I
don't know how to change the battery.
If work had their way, I wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
So the group had already done some of their investigation when I came in. I joined them through their second session. And a lot of what I was picking up, well, from the scientific side, I mean, we've discovered that there's a lot of EMF activity, especially in one of the rooms, and that could be causing part of what people are feeling. But on the spiritual side of things, a lot of what I'm feeling has to do not so much with the building as much as it does with the grounds.
At least 3. It's been like
There's the alarm and security cameras right over there by it.
the preschool. This has been the preschool for probably about 3 years now.
For about 3 years, okay.
Yeah.
There's no electrical back there.
There's got to be something because it's consistent.
What did it say?
It says fiddle. Send.
That's one coming. Are you over here?
Just finished up the second scientific session. Not getting a lot of activity at all.
So if you pass your shadow case and we both agree that, oh, you're a good match. We didn't scare you off with some of our Mary-isms earlier. Then,
or the combination of Mary and Joy.
So Eric just informed me I joined during chapter 2, and we're now in chapter 6. So I'm kind of surprised that it's been that many years. I didn't think it had been quite that long, but you know, I just think we've had a lot of great opportunities to go into a lot of different locations and be able to help a lot of people, and that's the thing I enjoy most about this, besides my team, of course.
Well, now we're going to be starting the spiritual side, but after our last case, I'm kind of more leery of them.
Kelly's joined us today, and it's my second time doing a case with her, so I'm kind of excited to see her again.
White, yellow, like sunflower dress.
Is there a drawing?
Yeah, I keep getting water too.
I wonder if that's where I'm getting that scratchy throat, can't breathe. I said something about baptism earlier when we were in here.
Yeah, you did. I don't know. I don't know if I was channeling Eric there for a second or what.
Did you get that too?
Drowning?
Oh, yeah.
Well, Eric did his human ovulus, and he picked up on a few things that me and Amaya had picked up on earlier in the night about something about a drowning.
Pond?
Some of the noises we're going to hear is traffic.
Oh, where were you? I would think
Yes.
60s, 70s.
I don't remember when they went out, but I know what he's talking about, where the dress comes down just to where the ruffles start on the butt.
Yeah.
Right.
But I'm definitely of something with 60s, but I'm getting like a farm pond, sharp object, is almost like a little child's dress of that style. Definitely, that was instantaneous. It was like a light yellow sunflower type thing.
Somebody got a bell or something jingling?
That's my
bracelets?
hearing. Sorry.
Okay. Just making sure.
A farm area, and a rural area, has a pond. Okay, yeah. And then drowning. I almost wonder if it's this individual related to that, connected to the dress gown. I almost want to say yes.
About 3-4 miles down the road, there was an accident, but I believe it was a boy that drowned in a pond. Yeah, it's just like go down that road and turn that way, there's a farm pond, and he drowned. But it wasn't a girl, it was a boy. So, I mean, down around Indian Creek area, I mean, he said this is all Indian Creek area.
Could be. It's just,
Indian keeps coming up.
yeah, it's just how it showed itself to me at first was like, this is my identification, this is what I'm trying to tell you, the rest of this is going to follow. So it seemed connected to that first image. For audio, that was India, I think.
I said squishy.
It's funny, Mary said squishy earlier to describe what it felt when she pooped her pants.
I don't think that has anything to do with that.
I was talking about a ball, but.
It was funny because he did the dance too. You're like squish, 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 squish.
That was all made up, you know that.
So we have wrapped up the night, and the spiritual investigation was a little bit quieter. A lot of the things that we were picking up again were things to have to do with the land, not necessarily with the building itself.
So,
Well, I don't know. Like when we were in there was this like little kid, and I found it like such a coincidence because I was telling Destiny about it earlier that I kept seeing a little kid that had long curly hair, and I could have sworn they were trying to play patty cake with me through the mirror, and that playing hide and seek. And when we were back there, I kept seeing a guy walk around. I couldn't get like a description like you. I mean, it wasn't through my mirror or anything. It was like glimpses out of my peripheral visions. It was pretty deep, and I started crying, and it was kind of crazy.
I think Amaya did pretty well in the first case. I know at the end there, some of her validations with Kelly, it got kind of emotional, as that can happen sometimes.
I don't know, it's just more like validation that I'm not crazy.
It's hard because he feels helpless. It's tough. It's tough when you feel things. It's okay.
I don't know. I feel like a retard right now.
then what
You're
I was
doing great.
what I was getting in there when I was saying that, and you had that smirk on your face, like you're like the smile. What happened during that? Because I knew you said you picked up something, and I sensed that you did, but you were holding it. Is when I seen that figure matching somebody that was about 3.5, 4 feet tall.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember exactly, but I know that like I said, that little kid like just wants to play hide and seek. Like I sound dumb.
No.
No, you really don't. Actually,
That's what we've been saying.
that validates one of the claims here. So you're actually validating something that's actually happened here.
And it says something that I was saying earlier on the green screen while you were outside when I was doing my interview. I keep getting this hide and seek lurker type thing where they're just out of being able to be touched. You know, they're just there and then they're
Like, I don't know, this is all pretty new to me, like especially talking about it to people, so I feel like I'm crazy.
I know the feeling.
You know,
Because
like,
before I
don't know,
met these
feel
guys,
weird.
I was the same way.
We've all been
The
there.
talking about it is how you lose that crazy feeling, because it'll give you the opportunity to get the validation, which builds that confidence up. We all have been there. We've all started that way. And it's, the most terrifying thing of any of this is when I'm wrong. And if you're wrong, you're wrong. As long as your intentions are good and you're sharing what you truly feel, that's what's important.
I can come to this group. I'm not crazy. I'm normal. I'm like everybody else in this group, and that's why I love you guys so much.
And the biggest thing to remember as well is we're not in competition with each other. Nobody
Or
else-
other teams.
or other teams,
Internal
or
or
anybody
external.
else out there in the paranormal field. Nobody is a better psychic than you are. Nobody is a better empath than you are. Nobody is a better tarot reader than you are.
But they
Whatever
can
your
definitely
skills
help
may
you
be.
grow your gifts. Other people can help you
You
grow
would
your
just
gifts.
you just feel different
It's a matter of
things.
how much you embrace it and how much you open
Right.
yourself up to it.
And what
Complement each other.
what maybe shut off to one person, another person may be picking it up. It
Eric?
doesn't mean they're better.
Yeah, Eric and I have been in a room where we're both picking up completely different things.
Yeah.
And I think that our sensing things are pretty similar most of the time. But I mean, and I've actually, one of my really good friends is a psychic medium as well, and we've had that conversation of why can she talk to a spirit and I can't hear them, or I can talk to a spirit and she can't hear them. And it's because that's who they're choosing to speak with at that time. So you just have to embrace that experience.
Well, thanks again.
Good to see you guys. Good to see you guys.
See you again.
Thanks for having me.
It was a pretty tame case.
I really liked everybody here. This is something, I knew from the beginning, but definitely even more now after tonight. I know that I'm going to be a part of this group, and I'm excited for new adventures with them.
She didn't go screaming or running. We didn't have to go tackle her out in the snowdrift or anything like that. So I think that it went really well.
But it was fun. It was a good time, and I always enjoy coming and hanging out with everybody.
How'd you think you did today?
Good.
Yeah?
More tired than anything.
Yeah. First time back after a while. Just wanted to kind of see you self-rate yourself and see how you felt that you did. How'd you think you did?
I think he did very well. I thought he was very on track, and he didn't, go off the handle and get upset or about anything. I think he did really well, and I'm glad to see him back on the team.
Yeah, because she's like, I miss Jeff. I like you.
Yes, I'm the one that I was your biggest cheerleader. Yes, get Jeff back. Come on.
Yeah. So that's pretty good. And you had a situation before where you got really emotional. You knocked some wall decorations off at the client's house at one time. But here you're getting some of that, but you seem to handle it better. But just get better about talking about it. Kind of what we were going over with the newbie and Maya. You're in the same boat because you're still newbie. Just voicing it out. So then that way we know you're not falling asleep, going in a trance or anything like that. But we're proud of you that you didn't run. You didn't knock off decorations in the daycare.
Or soil yourself.
So,
Yeah. Hi, Amy.
Hi.
Nice to see you again.
You too.
Hi.
You remember
Hey,
Eric?
Remember Eric?
Yeah.
This is Jarrett.
Hi. Nice to see you.
so thanks for having us come back, and we have some findings here. We'll go over the reveal, and I guess we'll just go ahead and have a seat over here.
All right. Sounds good.
All right.
It went really well. I was really anxious to show Amy the shadow person, and my daughter came along too because she does work here at the preschool.
See, and so we try to be
Right.
respectful with it too, and so we ask, can you say that? Could you repeat that loud and
Right.
clear? And Mary was asking that, and then of course then it comes through.
And I just think it went really well, and it was a joy to be here. And I want to thank Amy for letting us be here and do this investigation, and I think it went very well. So thank you for indulging a
Yes,
crazy
I
woman.
appreciate you guys coming and taking time to do it. So
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
you.
Yep. Oh.